The best of the morning X 99X.
Only a month ago, we were certain of death at the hands of bandits. And today, we have reached the gates of the forbidden city of Lhasa. Even in our miserable condition, we feel the lure of Tibet's holiest city, home of the Dalai Lama.
He is the reincarnation of Avalokiteshvara, the bodhisattva of compassion. After his recognition, he was renamed Zhejun Jambeng Nawang Losang Ishi Tenzin Gyatso. Holy Lord, gentle glory, eloquent, compassionate, learned, defender of the faith, ocean of wisdom. When you are in the presence of His Holiness, you must always be standing, bent in obeisance, hands folded in supplication. If seated, you must always be seated lower than He. Never look Him in the eye. Never speak before He does. Always refer to Him as Your Holiness. Never turn your back to Him, and never touch Him.
Good afternoon, Your Holiness. It is an honor, it is a privilege to be in your presence. And we hope you have enjoyed your stay here in Atlanta.
Yes, very much.
Can you, first of all, maybe briefly explain how did you become the Dalai Lama as leader of the Tibetan people?
Firstly, Buddhism is one of the ancient, Indian thought which believe rebirth. So on that basis, the concept of reincarnation.
You are the incarnation of the previous Dalai Lama.
Yes. Now here, you see, again, the reincarnation, there are different types of reincarnation. Some, the being itself, representative of the previous life. Mm-hmm. And in some cases, the one being multiply reincarnation. That's also possible from Buddhist viewpoint. So I don't know. I myself, what kind of reincarnation that I don't know. Of course, through my dreams or some other, indication, then certainly I do believe I have a special connection with fifth Dalai Lama and then late 13th Dalai Lama also. In my case, just after the death of the 13th Dalai Lama, the Tibetan government sent a search party at, I think, at least 2 or 3 different areas. Mm-hmm. Then the search party came my place, and then they carry some, test.
Test.
Mainly, you see, the choosing those articles which belong the previous Dalai Lama. And also I recognize some of the member of the delegation. And in fact, I mentioned their name. So on this factor, they finalized.
The test.
You passed the test.
Yes, that's right.
We read your book, My Land and My People. You were a young child when you were chosen to be the Dalai Lama. You were 4.5. At that time, I guess you were taken from your family. How intense were your studies as a young child? Was it hard to be separated from your family and your parents?
Oh, certainly. When my parent, especially my mother, when she depart, I always feel sad. Mm-hmm. But then, although you see, live separately, my mother from time to time came to see me, and whenever she came to see me, she always brought some bread. My mother, excellent to make variety of bread. So she always bring. Uh-huh. I think it seems in order to show she has an expert to make this bread. I think
good baker.
So therefore the not complete sort of separation.
Were you able to spend time with other children?
Only my elder brother. Beside him, no other children. Only two of us. My elder brother and myself.
Many Americans have seen the movies that have been made on your life, 7 Years in Tibet and Kundun. I understand you saw part of 7 Years in Tibet on the airplane? Part of that movie?
Yes, I saw.
Do you have fond recollections of your time with Heinrich? Do you still keep in contact?
Oh, yes,
with
of course.
Heinrich?
Of course, my memory about our happy days in Tibet. Of course, I very clearly remember. And then, since I came to India as a refugee, on several occasions, I had a meeting with him, and he also visited Dharamsala at my place in India also, I think few occasions. Then whenever I passing through Europe or visit Europe, then one time I visited at his own town and his birthplace area. And I think one birthday, celebration of birthday, we celebrated jointly with that the huge cake.
Huge cake.
Yes, that's right.
You've spent a lot of time in the United States. You've been all over the world. You've experienced many different cultures. What about the United States amuses you?
Oh, no particular. But of course, I love the general American sort of, attitude. More open, quite to say, straightforward. That I love. That's good. And then, of course, the few occasions I had meeting with the Native American. You see, they dress very, very colorful or something. At their face, there are some similarities. The face of those people from Central Asia.
American culture is very centered around our entertainers. I know you are friendly with some of our entertainers, Mr. Richard Gere and Harrison Ford. Do you ever, when you travel to hotel rooms, do you watch television?
No, not much.
Where do you get your news? How do you find out?
Usually, I always listen BBC. And then, of course, Voice of America, Tibetan service, Voice of America, and also the Radio Free Asia. These I listen. But the BBC, wherever I go, I always listen.
Speaking of news, and I know that you know Jimmy Carter and you've had experiences with our president, President Clinton, who would you say are some of the most influential leaders of the 20th century that you admire and look up to?
That's difficult to say. Of course, I have admiration, Jimmy Carter, and also the President Bush, and also the current president. Of course, they are the great leader. One I always feel, Willy Brandt, the Germany, or the Chancellor of Germany. Well, that's something I really have some kind of
special feeling.
Then I think current sort of leaders, the President Havel, the President of the Czech Republic. Oh yes, great.
This interview isn't over. More after a quick break. You can also find it and more on the Morning X with Barnes and Leslie podcast. You're inside the best of the Morning X.